The last thing I wanted to do is to come to this university and preside over a descent into mediocrity. Now, being an engineer, I'm a civil engineer, I always had a great respect for UMR. Basically, my position was, this is a great place and nobody knows anything about it. My position prior to Rolla was at Worcester Polytechnic Institute in Worcester, Massachusetts. I was thinking about whether I would retire, and then out of the blue, I got contacted by a search firm for Rolla. I got offered the job and took it. I saw the opportunity to do some innovative things. The facilities were impressive, the faculty was first rate. It just was a nice situation for me. The vast majority of students probably still come from the state of Missouri. The thing I liked about them is their tenacity. The quality of the students were certainly equal to Worcester Polytechnic Institute and Vanderbilt University. The typical Rolla student was working very hard, determined to do whatever it took to be successful. When I took the job and I started following some of the students as they progressed from freshman to sophomore to senior, and you could just see the light going on and their horizons broadening. If you were an engineer, you knew about Rolla, but general population, average family situation with a boy or a girl in high school. If you just saw University of Missouri-Rolla, branch campuses were labeled in that way. They were 2-year programs, and that was the way many people would view University of Missouri-Rolla. And here we had this amazing place, and we needed to be able to distinguish ourselves from the other 3 campuses. My board of trustees at the time were very supportive, so we decided to go for it. We broke the community into components: the undergraduate students, the graduate students, the faculty, the staff, the citizens of Rolla, the graduates of the university, the companies that hire our students, and started having conversations about a potential name change. But for the most part, the idea resonated with people. And I remember having these open meetings in Leach, and I would argue that we needed to do this because we're a great university and nobody knows about us outside of the Midwest. And the students would look at me like I was crazy, and they acted like, what are you talking about? Everybody knows about Rolla. And I think even after we succeeded in changing the name, it took a year or 2 for some of that latent hostility to go away. So we won the battle of, okay, we're going to change the name of the university. Then we actually hired a firm. They did some telephone surveys, and we had 4 or 5 potential names for the university. Surprisingly, the name that just came to the top, not even a close second, was the one we chose, Missouri University of Science and Technology. I've had many, many people, students, faculty, say 4 or 5 years out, that, I really didn't appreciate what you were doing, and I was opposed to the move, but you were right, that this is a good thing. I think our prestige on the undergraduate and the graduate level just is multiplied. And the caliber of the students, I think the average ACT score, I wager, is the highest, certainly in the system. It was much more important to retain our quality and compete nationally for faculty. If you're competing with the Northwesterns of the world for faculty, you have to compete financially. And it's a shame because the last thing you want to do is to make it difficult for a young person in this country to go to college. I have so many friends here. I saw many of them in the last few days. I hadn't seen them in 6, 7 years. Sometimes I would forget a name, but not the face. And it was great to come back.